Straw buyers or credit partners, what's the difference? Stay tuned. We're going to keep you on the right side of the law. Hello. Looks like you guys beat me here yet again. Hold on. Let me take a sip of wake-up juice. There we go. Do me a favor. Smash subscribe. We're going to go through this. I'm going to teach you the difference between a straw buyer and a credit partner. And by the way, a credit partner can be a version of a subject to deal. So, there's a lot of going on at a lot of these investment clubs that I've gone to, and I'm going to be the first one to advise you to stay away from it. We're going to go into what a straw buyer is, how they get caught, why they're out there, how they're compensated. And sometimes you go to these different investment groups and there'll be these shady mortgage brokers or other people, half-ass gangsters going, hey, I got a buyer for this, or hey, I got a buyer for that. I just have to make sure that I'm compensated. And I'm going to tell you right now, stay the f*** away from it. This is nothing but trouble. A straw buyer is exactly what it sounds like. It's like a scarecrow. It's not a real person in many cases, or it's somebody's stolen identity who's not aware of the deal or the transaction they're about to participate in. So, number one, we're going to check this box. Many times, a straw buyer is going to be a stolen identity or a fake ID, just like if somebody were to come to this country and purchase an ID. If that person has good credit, they can also then use that person with the fake ID to come to the table and buy a property from you or anybody else, and in turn, for giving you a buyer who paid full price, these assholes expect compensation. I'm also going to talk to you about how they get caught. The next thing is, many times the actual person who is taking out the loan or the mortgage to buy the property is not part of the deal in any way, shape, or form. They will never occupy the property, though they took out an FHA loan or a traditional loan. They don't even know that they're buying it. It's probably not even their signature. And some jerks sometimes will take a birth certificate and other points of identification and literally do so good at stealing somebody's identity that they'll go to the DMV and get a real driver's license with their picture on it. Sounds pretty nuts, right? Not worth the jail time. People will do it for 6 figures all the time. I've seen it happen, and I've seen them get locked up repeatedly. The real person is not part of the deal and receives no benefit. Okay, many times the straw person, if it is a real person, will go to a mortgage broker and present them with fake W-2s, fake pay stubs, false identity, a fake social security number or a social security number that does not belong to them, and even fake tax returns. This is what we like to call fraud, and it is not legal. When you sell a property, I am okay if you're not a realtor with you introducing your buyer to several mortgage brokers and letting them pick one. That is okay. You can help them with the loan process, but do not ever get involved in any of this shit. Because what ultimately happens is these people take a huge chunk of money and then forget about the fact that they have to make the mortgage payments. And eventually that 50 or 100 grand that they stole somebody's identity to make gets whittled down really quick, and they don't have much left, and then they default. And I owned a mortgage company. Let me tell you, if somebody defaults in the first year or even in the first couple months before that mortgage, and by the way, when mortgages are written, the mortgage company actually lends the money off their warehouse line of credit. We can go into that in a later video. That mortgage is then sold on the secondary market and packaged with a bunch of other mortgages and sold to pension funds or different countries that are performing assets. If these things crash and burn early, you can count on talking to the FBI. And there are legit reasons for people to default on their first couple mortgage payments, like death or jail. However, if you do this, you're probably going to go to jail anyway. So as far as straw buyers go, even in certain states like Pennsylvania, where you can use a credit partner, and they call it a straw party agreement. You're not going to make anything up, and you're going to make sure that they never default. Do not get involved in this. It is pretty terrible stuff. A credit partner, on the other hand, can actually be a pretty beautiful thing, and it's like a straw buyer, just not mixed with evil, okay? This, in my opinion, is more of a blessing. A credit partner, in many cases, well, in every case, I stand corrected, is a real person. Real estate investing is not for everybody. Not everybody can quit their job and do this full time. It takes a special kind of person. You must be one of them because you're watching this video. So if you haven't yet, now's the time you're gonna want to click subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Credit partners are real people. Many times they are going to be people in your network who are professionals, and it may not pay for them, or maybe they're close enough to retirement where they don't want to leave their job and do this full time yet. I'm actually closing on a deal tomorrow with a credit partner who happens to be a fireman. I've done several of these with police officers, and these are pretty intense positions. They don't have time to go out there and locate deals, but hey, if you've got the property and you've got the money and they've got the down payment too, great. Why shouldn't you have them take out a loan and then compensate them by doing that? And my favorite form of compensating them, you're giving them a piece of the deal, is a partnership. So if you've got the property and you've got the money and they've got the credit, why not go 2/3, 1/3? Or if they've got the down payment and you've got a deal that's way better than anything that you can find on the MLS, and I'm not going to get into mortgage guidelines right now, give them 50-50. Okay? It's a pretty miraculous thing, and you can only take out so many loans personally yourself before you realize that all this real Robert Kiyosaki with cash flow kind of ends personally somewhere between 7 and 14 mortgages. Then you have to get into commercial stuff. But by taking on a credit partner, you can continue to buy more and more residential multifamilies, and 50 or 75% of a great deal that cash flows forever is a lot better than 0% of something you're never going to buy. So give them a partnership. Hey, I've got something better than anything you can find on the MLS. I'm buying this property for $250. It's worth $350. I don't think you can find that anywhere. It makes X a month, and if you can take out the loan, I'll give you half of the cash flow forever. Congratulations. Everybody wants an income stream. Start blessing these people. And by the way, if these people don't have good credit but they'd like to do it and they have the income, you can restore their credit, but that's for a later video. When they do go and take out a mortgage, all their documentation is real. They haven't made up a goddamn thing, and let's hope they don't, because you want these things to cash flow forever. Now, do deals go wrong? Do things happen? Do we just get hit with a pandemic? Are there tornadoes and fires? Yeah. But there's insurance for things like this, and there's different ways around them. But when they go to take out the loan, you shouldn't even need to play any part in it, other than maybe helping them understand, why is my mortgage broker asking for updated pay stubs? Well, this much time elapsed, and they want to make sure you're still employed before they close. And just defer back to the mortgage broker that they're using. This should be some really, really easy stuff, because they're real. And before you take on a credit partner for a particular project, I would have them contact the mortgage broker and get them pre-qualified, so you know what kind of deal they could find. Oh, they can get a loan for $500? Well, we'll put them into this $500,000 bracket. Oh, you can get a loan for $300,000? Well, we can get 2 families for that much. And just make sure everybody gets paid. Make sure you have a good O fund. They are aware of everything that's going on. They've seen the property. They've walked through it. Sometimes they live in it. Okay? They know everything. They've felt every bump in the road. They've probably even helped you with certain things like smoke and fire certificates. They are not in the dark. They are the buyer, and afterwards you're probably going to deed it into an LLC or a trust. It will report to their credit, and as long as those payments are being made, it will keep reporting positively, and in many cases elevate their credit and actually help them out. So, in closing, a credit partnership is actually a blessing for many people who can't typically find a real estate deal because they don't have the time, it's not their profession, maybe they're just tired of losing at the stock market. And I'm not gonna lie to you, there's nothing sexy about this. It's steady, boring income. You're not gonna double your money overnight, but a couple hundred, maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month for you to take out a loan, and me or whoever you're doing the credit partnership with takes care of everything else. That might be something you want to look into. By the way, if you are interested, you can tell us in the comments. We've got a whole lot of information down there. We've even got a course on you to tell you a little bit more about how to do that. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've realized that straw buying is something you don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole, and being a credit partner is truly a blessing. And honestly, if you'd even like to be one of ours, you can hear about it in the comments or check out our website. My name's Chuck Kohout. This is Always Be Closing. Bye for now.